The house was silent. Too silent. The kind of silence that feels heavy, like the walls are listening. Ethan Parker lived alone. At least, that's what everyone thought. Ethan was asleep, or trying to be. Or he had been waking up every night at exactly 2:13 a.m. for the past week. No alarm, no reason, just awake. His eyes opened. 2:13 a.m. Again. He didn't move at first. He listened. Nothing, just the hum of the ceiling fan. He exhaled slowly. "It's nothing," he whispered. Then, this time it was louder. Not imagination. Not wind. Someone was inside. The hallway was dark, but not completely. The kitchen light was on. Ethan never left lights on. His heart started racing. Thud, thud, thud. He slowly grabbed his phone. No signal. No Wi-Fi. That was impossible. He paid the bills on time. Always a soft sound from the kitchen, like someone searching. Opening drawers, closing them, calmly, patiently, like they had all the time in the world. Ethan swallowed hard. Was it a thief? But why move so slowly? Why not rush? Why not panic? Unless they weren't afraid. Ethan used to work as a security guard, night shifts. Alone. Watching cameras. One night he saw something strange. A masked man breaking into an empty warehouse. He called the police. The thief was caught. But before being taken away, the masked man stared directly into the camera and smiled. Heavy. Deliberate. Coming closer to the hallway, Ethan's bedroom door was slightly open. He could see the shadow, a tall shadow, standing outside. Not moving, just standing watching. Ethan stopped breathing. Maybe if he didn't move, maybe the intruder would leave. Then the shadow moved. Slowly, the door creaked open. Black hoodie. Gloves. Face hidden, but something was wrong. Very wrong. The intruder didn't look around the room. He walked directly to Ethan's closet, like he knew the house. Like he had been there before. He opened it and pulled something out. A small locked box. Ethan's blood turned cold. How did he know about that? Nobody knew. Nobody. Who are you? His voice cracked. The intruder froze. Then, slowly, he turned his head. Not fully. Just enough, and whispered, "I told you I would come back." The thief from 3 years ago. Name, Daniel Cross. Ethan's stomach dropped. Daniel Cross was sentenced to 10 years. It had only been 3. That meant he escaped. Ethan screamed. His phone screen lit up. Unknown number. Message. Don't trust the police. Another message. He's not alone. The bedroom light turned off. Complete darkness. Ethan couldn't see anything. Then he felt it. Cold. Air. Right next to his ear. A whisper. "You should have let me steal." The intruder ran out of the room. False Ethan jumped up. Heart pounding. He ran after him, but the hallway was empty. Front door closed. Windows locked. No sign of forced entry. The kitchen drawers. Closed. Everything. Normal. Except the locked box. It was gone. He checks the cameras. Playback from 2 a.m. Nothing unusual. To 10 a.m. Nothing. To 12 a.m. static. Those 13 a.m. Screen goes black. Then one frame appears. Just one. A face close to the camera. smiling. Without a mask, it was Danielle. But his eyes, they were completely black. The black eye inside the wall blinked. Once, twice, then it moved, following Ethan, watching him breathe, watching him panic. Ethan stumbled backward. No, this isn't real, he whispered, but the crack in the wall widened, slowly, like the house itself was opening its mouth. With a sharp crack, the plaster split open. Darkness spilled out. Not dust, not debris. Darkness. Thick. Alive. It flowed onto the floor like smoke, but heavier, and inside it, shapes moved. Tall shapes. Thin shapes. Too tall for the ceiling. Too thin to be human. Fear. More. Stay. The whispers layered over each other. Not one voice. Dozens. I didn't do anything, he shouted. The darkness pulsed, and from it stepped Daniel. But not fully solid, like a shadow wearing a body. You did, Daniel said calmly. You chose. 3 years ago, Ethan saw Daniel on the cameras. Yes, but there was something else, the shadow on the ceiling. It wasn't following Daniel. It was following Ethan's fear. Daniel wasn't stealing valuables. He was trying to burn something, a black symbol painted on the warehouse wall, a symbol that looked alive. Daniel had broken in to destroy it, not steal. He had discovered something in that abandoned place, something ancient, something that fed on fear. And when Ethan called the police, Daniel was dragged away before he could finish destroying it. The symbol remained. The entity remained. They attached to me in prison, Daniel said. They needed a bridge. Ethan's voice trembled. A bridge to what? Daniel looked at him. A home. The house Ethan bought 2 years ago was built on the land where that warehouse once stood. Same ground, same soil, same symbol, buried underneath the foundation. The locked box that Daniel stole, it contained warehouse blueprints, old documents, and a piece of that black symbol Ethan secretly kept, because he was curious, because he wanted proof, because deep down, he didn't believe Daniel was crazy. He wanted to study it. He wanted answers. And the entity wanted him. The walls stretched taller. The ceiling darkened. The house wasn't a house anymore. It felt endless, like he was standing inside something breathing. You invited us, the whisper said. You kept the door open. Ethan shook his head violently. I didn't mean to. Daniel's shadowy face soft. I didn't either. Daniel extended his hand. They feed on fear, he said quietly. If you're not afraid, they weaken. Ethan looked around. The shapes moved closer, towering over him. If he ran, they would chase. If he screamed, they would grow stronger. If he fought, they would enjoy it. He closed his eyes, heart pounding, breathing slowly. He remembered something Daniel had screamed that night in the warehouse. They were nothing without you. Ethan stood up, hands shaking, but steady. I'm not afraid of you. The whispers grew louder. Trying art, the shapes twisted, trying to scare him. Faces forming, distorted versions of himself. But Ethan didn't look away. I'm done being scared. The shadows flickered, like a weak signal. The black eye in the wall blinked rapidly. Cracks began sealing. The room shrank back to normal size. The whispers turned to static. Daniel's shadow flickered. You're learning, he smiled faintly. But then, something unexpected happened. One whisper didn't fade. One voice remained. Soft, close, right behind Ethan. You're still afraid of one thing. Ethan froze, slowly. He turned toward the mirror in his bedroom. His reflection smiled. but he wasn't smiling. The reflection stepped forward, out of the mirror. Perfect copy, same face. Same voice, but eyes completely black. "You're afraid of yourself," it said calmly, "and we live there." Daniel's shadow disappeared completely. The other shapes vanished. The house returned to normal. Silent. Still. Peaceful. Except peaceful. Except the copy was still standing there. Birds chirping. 6:45 a.m. Everything looked normal. Ethan stood in front of the mirror. Alone. His reflection normal. No cracks in the wall. No darkness. No footprints. Was it over? Or was it inside him now? His phone buzzed one last time. Unknown number. Final message. Home secured. Camera zoomed slowly into Ethan's eyes. For one split second, they turned black. Then, normal again. 2:27 in the morning. Ethan stood frozen in the hallway. The house looked normal. Too normal. The drawers were closed. The kitchen light was off. The front door was locked. It was like nothing had happened, like it was all inside his head. But the locked box, it was gone, and that wasn't his imagination. Sweat rolled down his temple. He dialed the police. This time, the signal worked. Ring. Then the single frame of Daniel's face, smiling. But when the officer watched it, there was nothing. Just static. No face. "Sir, there's no one there." Ethan grabbed the phone, replayed it. The frame was gone. Completely gone. Like it had never existed. "You should get some rest," they said, closing the door behind them. The house was silent again. 2:59 a.m. 3 minutes to 3. Back turned, wearing black. Not moving. Not breathing. Just sitting there. Ethan's voice trembled. "Daniel." The chair slowly turned. Not by hands. It just rotated on its own. The face was Daniel's, but it was pale. His skin gray, his eyes hollow, and around his neck, a deep, dark mark. Like something had strangled him. "You think I came for revenge?" Daniel's voice echoed unnaturally through the room. "I didn't escape. I was sent. Sent by who?" Daniel smiled. A slow, unnatural smile. Then he pointed, behind Ethan. Ethan slowly turned, and his blood froze. There were more footprints, different sizes, different shapes, all around him. He was surrounded. It was like something invisible was standing everywhere, watching, breathing, waiting. He remembered the warehouse break-in 3 years ago. The cameras hadn't just shown Daniel. They'd shown something else, a shadow, moving on the ceiling, following him. Daniel wasn't alone that night either, and when Ethan called the police, Daniel was screaming, not at the officers, but at the empty air. "They followed me. They're still here." Then, suddenly, everything stopped. Complete silence. The basement light turned back on. The chair was empty. No footprints, no mud. Nothing. Ethan scrambled upstairs, slamming the basement door shut and locking it. 3:13 a.m. He sat on his bed, breathing heavily, trying to calm down. Then he heard it again. This time, from inside the walls,